Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Defining Discipline podcast. I'm your host, Scott. Defining discipline is a lifestyle, a mentality, and a brand. And within this podcast, we're going to focus on self-improvement as you follow along with me on my journey. We will also hear from special guests of all walks of life on this podcast and their remarkable journeys that led them to where they are today. But before we get started, let's do a quick update on what has been happening. I challenged myself to run 365 days out of the year this year. I started running in 2019, October, and was able to run 100 miles within 3 months and decided to become a runner. That was when I officially became a runner. 2020 came around. I was able to run, I think, 176, 77 days out of the year. And I was able to hit an accomplishment of running my first 1,000 miles within a year. And was able to run my first marathon, unofficial, at within 5 hours and 30 minutes. That being said, this year I really wanted to step it up, so I challenged myself to 365 days, and I also challenged myself to run 1,250 miles, 250 more miles than I ran in 2020. So I realized I'm going to have to average out about 100 miles per month at least. So I started to do 100-mile challenges. And last month I did a 100-mile challenge that had a fundraiser attached to the American Cancer Society where we raised $380 for them. That one officially closed on the 7th of February, but for the month of February going on until March 9th, I started another fundraiser. And this is the February fundraiser, and it's for the Detroit Black Community Food Security Network. And what they do is they work to build self-reliance, food security, and justice in Detroit's black community by influencing public policy, engaging in urban agriculture, promoting healthy eating, and encouraging cooperative buying and directing youth towards careers in food-related fields. This being a podcast that is based on the Metro Detroit area, and also a podcast that tries to focus on exercise as well as health and eating healthy and just being more healthy. I thought this fundraiser was a perfect fundraiser. I did start the fundraiser, and it is now currently going, like I said, until March 9th on my personal Facebook page. You can find it there. You could also find some links attached to some of my stories, where you can just click on them and be able to donate. All donations that get made will go directly to this fundraiser, and none goes to Facebook, even though it's through Facebook. That is one really cool thing that Facebook does with these fundraisers, is they don't take a cut. So if you're able to, please donate. I know it'll help these people out a lot. And if you can't donate, because I know times are tough right now, if you can, the least you could do is just share the fundraiser so other people might be able to see it and might be able to donate. Other than that, though, I did on day 33, today is day 40. On day 33, I challenged myself to do the God Bod Challenge, which is 33 days of push-ups every single day, 33 push-ups every single day, 33 sit-ups every single day for 33 days, while averaging 33 miles per week running. That being said, currently for the month, I am at 39.6 for the 100-mile challenge of February. This week, I am at 6.4 miles. Last week, I hit my 33 miles. And I did my push-ups and my sit-ups today, which I will attach to the end of this episode. If you are just listening, though, you will not be able to visualize the push-ups and sit-ups. If you want to, you will have to go to the YouTube link and watch the episode instead of listen. Other than that, though, guys, I kind of just want to get into today's episode. Today is episode 40. So that being said, I try to stick around the themes. This was a word that had significant meaning to the number 40. So that's where I got this theme from. Anywho, the theme for today is going to be encouragement. Episode 40, encouragement. Now, encouragement can be a very powerful thing, especially to someone who at the time may be lacking it. That being said, though, depending on the context of the individual, encouragement can be for the better, or it can sometimes be for the worst. And to give kind of examples of that, like an example for like a better situation where encouragement would be better for you, let's kind of say there's someone who's like a very talented person, and they're very talented at like this one thing, but they lack the self-confidence in order to pursue it. And they may find the courage and success in pursuing it with just the littlest bit of encouragement from someone in their peer group, or even just someone outside of their peer group, just someone in general that can give them that encouragement might send them on a whole different direction for the better. They might follow their dreams or their passions and become super successful because they're very talented at it, and all they needed was that little bit of push. But that also being said, to give an example of a worse situation where if you encourage someone, it kind of worsens them off. Here's an example of that. It'd be, there's someone who is like super stubborn, and they're clearly aiming in the wrong direction. They're clearly trying to force something that is not working, and it's just not happening. And instead of doing the right thing by them and telling them the truth, like, hey, you shouldn't pursue this, or you're doing the wrong thing, you kind of just stick with feeding them the encouragement, and just continue to lead them on that path of failure and misery, because you don't know how to tell them, hey, this is maybe not what you need to be doing. And that being said, I kind of believe there are a few reasons that that worst example kind of will happen, where people will encourage people to do the wrong thing, and I think that's because the people giving the encouragement, one reason is people that are giving the encouragement, they might truly believe that person is aiming the right way. They might not really understand that might not be what that person needs to do. So that could just be an honest mistake. That could be one reason why people encourage people to do the wrong things. The second reason, though, could be that they're kind of plain stubborn. And it's not that they don't know that they're facing the wrong way. Deep down inside, they know they might be facing the wrong way, but they don't want themselves to face the reality that someone they know and possibly care about might be heading in the wrong direction. So basically, they're just kind of lying to themselves because it's easier than facing the truth and talking to that person about the truth and letting them know, hey, you might not want to do this. And third, finally, I think this is the worst case scenario of all of them, but this is it definitely happens. Another bad encouragement that can when bad encouragements happen, like I said, the worst case scenario could be the fact that these people are just malevolent, and they just want to see the person that's aiming in the wrong direction, like oh yeah, this person's not doing good. Let's push them down this path so that it's continue to do worse and worse. And they're doing that in order just to satisfy their own horrible existence. There are people out there that are pure evil, that just want to see someone fail, and that is one way encouragement gets misused, is people will encourage people to continue down the wrong path. But now that we kind of discussed how encouragement can both be used for the good and for evil, I kind of want to talk about my personal experiences with encouragement. I don't want to go in too depth with them, but first off, I know I've been guilty of myself of lack of encouragement sometimes with the people closest to me when they needed it most. And it's not always because I didn't want to encourage them, or because I was malevolent, or because I not any of the three reasons that I kind of just explained. I guess you can kind of go with two. The second reason, not that I was blinded to it, or I was trying to blind myself to it, but I just, most of the time I just felt like I didn't know what to say without sounding cheesy or awkward. And I would let my own feelings and my own emotions stand in my way of encouraging the people around me that needed it at that time. I know I've also been guilty of encouraging people for the worst, just because I was afraid to tell them how I really felt. about them heading in the wrong direction. That's not only have I, been scared because I feel like what I was saying was cheesy, but I've also, I was afraid to just be like, yo, dude, I don't think that's right. I think you should do this. I've been in situations where I've lacked encouragement. I was too afraid to tell them that they were heading in the wrong direction. I didn't want to face that confrontation. And while I didn't always literally encourage them to continue on that current path of misery, maybe, I sure as hell didn't speak up and let them know what I was observing from my perspective. I didn't let them know, I don't think this is right. So it wasn't necessarily me being like, yeah, continue to do this, but I just didn't have the nerve to say something. I've also, to kind of talk about, my experience with encouragement, I've also been encouraged, for better or worse, by my peers throughout my life. Not to say I'm this huge success or anything like that, but many years ago, there was things that just always seemed to just like fall in my lap, and things would just fall in place, and things would always go good for me. And I could like vividly remember and recall these certain situations where people were encouraging me to follow a path that kind of led me into more trouble and despair. And, was that because, one, they didn't know better? Was it two, because they were too stubborn to see what they were doing? Or was it three, because they were full of malevolence and they wanted to watch me fail and to fall? Looking back at those situations, I kind of have ideas of what their intentions may have been, but I decided to let, dead dogs lie, and I'm not going to, I just let it go. It is what it is. I've been in a whole bunch of situations where people have encouraged me to do the wrong things. But also on the flip side of that, though, I've also been, a victim of good encouragement. Over the years, I've been in situations where I lost my confidence or my will to continue, and I've had someone come and give me the encouragement that I needed to overcome that lack of confidence and to push me through and help me realize that my strength is more powerful than my weaknesses in those tough times. Like I've had people encourage me in some of the hardest moments of my life that helped me get through those moments. And I feel as a society, we could all use a little encouragement to help push us on the correct path. And I know, I myself am going to try to be more conscious and more disciplined with not only encouraging the right people, but not encouraging or not speaking up for the wrong people. I got to make sure I can figure out when I need to speak up and encourage people, and when I need to speak up and not encourage people. But with that all being said, I want to leave you guys with your daily discipline for today. And since this is about encouragement, I want you guys to go out there and to encourage someone who needs it. Find someone who is talented and working hard, but they might be in that point in their life where they've come to that roadblock and they're losing hope in themselves and what they're doing, but they have what it takes to do what they want to do. Give them that encouragement and give them that push that they need to keep going and to maybe to find that success that that they think they don't have. And while you're also at it, stop encouraging those people in your life who are heading in the wrong direction. Stop encourage them, even if there's people in your life that you don't like and you are the malevolent one and you want to see them fail. Don't do it. Just be a better person and stop encouraging people to do the wrong things. Speak up if you know they're doing the wrong things and you just don't know how to tell them. If you see them pushing themselves down the wrong path in life and it's only going to make them more miserable in life, like, tell them. Like, don't encourage them to follow that path. Know that instead of helping them, you're only hurting them. So let's for your daily discipline. Let's spread encouragement to those who need it and stop spreading it to those who don't. I want to thank you guys so much for listening. Again, this is episode 40. I'm going to throw the God Bod challenge video at the end of this video. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to talk to you guys about. Currently for the year, I'm at 146 miles. I didn't really update you on that. I got the 50K coming up. I also got the marathon coming up I'm training for. Every day has been a battle and a different battle. Some days are easy, some days are hard. Today it wasn't necessarily that I didn't want to go out. I didn't really feel like it, but it's like once I get out there, there's a lot of snow and ice in certain places where people have walked on it and it's frozen over and it's uneven. It's even worse than some of the trails I've been on so far. And I'm like rolling my ankles, and I'm like, I can actually watch my heart rate go up, like shoot up while trying to run through these iced areas that people like. All these businesses, you'd think you're running on a main street that these businesses would like clean the sidewalks, but a lot of them just haven't done anything. And I'm trying to run through it, and it's been kind of stressful, especially trying to put up so many miles. And then when you get in, you're only getting halfway into it, and you're worn out because half of the time you're battling the road condition. It's hard sometimes. Today, like I said, I did 4.9. It was a little bit of a challenge. My legs were feeling it when I got back. I was tired. I did my push-ups and sit-ups after I got back, though. Starting to feel a little bit better now, getting a little bit more energy, getting some things done I need to get done around the house. I do plan on having some guests very soon, guys. I'm going to make some contacts with a few people that I know I want to have on the show and talk to. I'm trying to just kind of get the order down and figure out what the themes are going to be and how I'm going to do that with guests. But other than that, I don't want to keep you guys too much longer. I want to thank you so much for listening and following along on this journey. Today is February 9th, and it is day 40. Again, guys, thank you so much for listening. If you can, please go give our Facebook, our Instagram, and our YouTube a follow and a subscribe. Also, listen to us on all the podcast streaming platforms. Share, tell all your friends about it, especially those who might need the encouragement to get up off their butts and to start maybe exercising or change their lifestyle. That's kind of, one day I just woke up and snapped and I completely changed my lifestyle, and that's kind of what this podcast is about. So if you know someone that might need to hear some of this, please share it with them. And keep spreading the good news and keep spreading just good overall, guys. Let's make this world a better place. Let's stay disciplined. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. February 9th. Day 8 of the God Bod Challenge. Just got back from a 4.9 mile run. Pretty beat. Daisy, come here. Daisy, come on. Get over here. Come on. Quit barking. I'll give you a treat. Come on, get up in the chair. You gotta wait.